Good evening. I decided to come on here tonight and speak with you in the evening because we're going to go over a little flow of postures that you can do before you go to bed at night. Something to center you at the end of the day. If you are working all day long, you kind of need a break, you need to decompress. This will help with that. If you are a sole caregiver of children, you have been busy all day, and this is a time for you to step away from that and be by yourself quietly. Or if you're just really anxious about what's going on in the world. It's almost like when I get on my mat, I step away from the world and I then am there by myself. And it's in that spot that you can become aligned. Your mind can get really clear and you can kind of tap into that inner guidance, intuition, spirit, whatever it is for you. So tonight we're going to work on some opening postures for the hips and the shoulder girdle. And then we're going to finish, as you see, I'm against the wall tonight here. We're going to finish with the legs up the wall, and I'm going to read through a little guided meditation. So hopefully this is a nice, sweet treat to the end of your day. And we will start on our knees, okay? So if you have tender knees, you can place a blanket underneath your knees here. And we're just going to start on standing on our knees is what they call it. We're going to move through the 6 movements of the spine just 2 times and then move into our flow. So inhale all the way up. Exhale, opening your heart. Shoulder blades hugging your spine. If you've been on a computer today, this will feel really good. Inhale up. We're going to twist to the right. Nose follows right hand. Inhale up and switch to the left. Inhale up. We're going to take our right arm down. It's just going to reach down the leg as your left arm comes up. And just gently opening the left side of the body. Inhale up. Exhale, left arm comes down. Reaching up with the right. Feeling this all along the right side. Continuing to breathe. Inhale up. Hands come to heart center. We'll go through that one more time. Inhale. Exhale, open. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Navel pulls in. Inhale up. Exhale to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, right arm down. Left arm reaches up and then gently over. Inhale up. Exhale down and reaching over. Beautiful. So you might have felt some snap, crackle, pops. I found my body doing that. I haven't really done physical activity today. I've taken the kids for a walk, but nothing really getting into my muscles. Okay, so we're going to start. The next thing is just, again, we're going to stand on the knees and we're going to bring our right foot forward. And this is just we're going to use gravity here. So hands can be on hips. You want your knee over your toe, so you want to make sure that your knee is not going way out in front of your toe. You want to keep your knee really safe here. So hands on your hips, and then you're just going to start letting your hips drop. Your knee might move a little bit, but not a ton. I'm going to turn sideways for a second so you can see what this looks like. I just put my foot up, so I'm here, and then I gently begin to sink my hips. So see, my knee doesn't go up that far, or forward that far. And you're just kind of letting gravity press down. So it's this nice sinking. You can press your hands into your thigh as you reach your crown up, opening a little bit of that left front hip there, hip flexors. If you want a little bit more, we're going to add arms here. You don't have to add arms. Inhale up. Thumbs reaching back as you're letting your hips sink down. And then you're going to bring your hands to your right knee. Let me get back facing you. Here. And then if you can, you're going to bring them to the floor. And just notice how that feels for your knee and your hip. If that is too deep, grab any type of couch pillow, anything, and just or blanket, put your hands on here. Just elevates you a little bit more. For me, I'm going to keep my hands on the floor. And you can play with letting this knee fall out a little bit and doing some of this movement. So we have lots of energy moving in our body. All of our cells are made up of energy, and they say a lot of your hips carry emotional energy. So If you have super tight hips, it could be yes, because you've been working out or you've been sitting all day, but a lot of times you may have a release in the hip muscles and also some sort of release emotionally. So just be aware when you're done tonight how you feel emotionally. Okay, from here, I'm just gonna start shifting my hips back. So I'm gonna move my hands back and I'm gonna lift my toes. So I'm moving into the back part of the leg. I'll turn again so you can see me. And the lower back here. So I like to keep somewhat of a flat back. So my toes are lifted. This knee does not have to straighten. If you have really tight hamstrings, this is totally fine. You're gonna be feeling this right here. So crown of my head is reaching where the ceiling meets the wall. My hips are back, and I'm feeling a nice deep stretch in the back of my leg here. And by pulling up the toes, you're gonna be feeling it in your calf. Inhale. As you exhale now, chin towards chest, and we are gonna round our spine now. So working into this nice C-spine, curving the lower back. Inhale, come up as you start bending that front knee again, and we're back into that front hip posture where we're really letting gravity do a lot of work here. Inhale, arms up. You can stay here. I'm going to add a little bit on. Left hand is going to come to right knee. Right hand is going to reach behind. Nose follows your right, or your right thumb. Yeah, your right thumb. Nose follows your right thumb. As you twist and exhale, pull in your navel. It's going to allow you to have a lot of support for the lower back. And you may get a little bit more range of motion. And then coming forward, we're going to shift back again, pulling up your toes, getting a nice stretch in that leg. Continuing your breath. Remember, breath flowing allows the muscles to release. If you're gripping with your breath, with your hands, with the muscles in your face, you're not going to be able to get that full release that we want. Okay, we're going to shift up, and then we're just going to switch out legs. So now we bring our left leg forward, hands on hips. And notice if one hip is tighter than the other. A lot of times that happens just because we are right or left side dominant. So that's completely normal. If you're doing this on your own, you could always pause it and stay a little bit longer on that really tight side. So hands here on your hips, and just begin to let your hips start to sink. Taking those breaths in and out, preferably through the nose because it will calm your nervous system. And if you'd like to add arms here, inhale up. Thumbs reaching back, hips sinking down. One more cycle of breath. As you exhale, bring your hands to the ground or place them on that pillow that you have. And we'll just rest here for a moment, seeing how that hip feels. Maybe starting to move it out to the side. Nice range of motion. We do, whether it's sitting, driving, walking. I know we're not doing a lot of driving or walking around town right now, but the hips tend to get really tight because of a lot of the movements that we're doing, the repetitiveness of the walking, the sitting, that kind of thing. Same with the shoulder girdle. And so it's nice to just spend some time in there undoing what we've done to create the tightness. Okay, we're going to shift back from here, pulling those toes up. I can already tell my left side's a little bit tighter than my right side. Keeping a flat back and being gentle with yourself. Just meeting your body where it's at. Not forcing anything. Just breathing through it. The calmer the breath allows the body to soften. And sometimes when I'm finding it's hard to relax in a posture, I tell myself soften in my mind, and it kind of teaches my body, telling my body what I want it to do. Rocking forward, inhale up. Exhale, right hand comes to left knee, left arm reaches behind. Feeling in that nice stretch all the way from the right hip across the front of the body to the left shoulder. Inhale up. Exhale, hands come down. Shift back one last time. And then go ahead and go onto your bottom. From here, we're going to do figure 4. I'll turn sideways for you. You're going to straighten your left leg, cross your right leg over your left. So my ankle is right above my knee. And then I'm just going to bend that bottom foot, my left leg. And now my right knee is close up here to my right shoulder. So if you want, you can start pressing that away, if that feels good. Or you can just hang out here and envision some sort of cord being pulled this way and opening your hip that way. Sitting up nice and tall, finding your breath. And you'll want to maybe hold this one for 5 to 10 breaths on either side. You can do this while watching TV, watching a movie. This is one you can do anytime that you want to get an extra little stretch in. And then you just come out of that. We'll switch over to the other side. So my right leg is forward now. Ankle right above that knee, arms come back, and just bend the right leg. Left knee moving away from the body. And again, if you'd like to press on it with your hand, you might have to move your hand behind you more towards the middle to balance. And just pressing that away. Lengthen your spine here. A lot of times we tend to round forward. We want to keep that nice tall posture. And then letting that go, we'll do one last thing. Feet, soles together. Hands come right on your, thumbs come on your arches. Hands come on the top of your feet. And think of the knees pulling down as the crown of your head reaches up. So just sitting up nice and tall. You can close your eyes here for a moment. Take a couple nice breaths. We're just opening up the hips a little bit more. It'd be fun to do this at the beginning of this flow and then do it at the end, and you'll see the difference in the openness you've gotten from it. From those, would we do maybe 3-4 postures? So the next thing we're going to do after this is we're going to go to legs up the wall, and then I'm going to walk you through a meditation. I wanted to read you something I wrote first, and then I'm actually going to show you how to get in legs up the wall. It's kind of a funky, awkward, there's no really easy way to do it. So I'm just going to show you my most graceful way, and you can try it if you like it. Okay, so I wrote this thing today as I was planning out what we were going to do today, and I just wanted to read it because it speaks from my heart. So we, especially at this time and everything we're going through, we journey through our day, going through a boatload of situations, which then cause lots of different emotions. And my word to you is to feel, just feel them. Let them come and feel them, and let them kind of move through your body, because the last thing you want to do is stuff them down, lash out at somebody else with them. Like, things are going to come up. We are going to feel scared. We are going to feel angry. We are going to feel impatient. Just breathe through it and acknowledge that's what you're feeling, and that's going to help it go away, or dissipate, rather. So be aware of how you speak, your attitude, your response to things, your emotions, how you're interacting with the people in your home, if you're in a home with other people. And then make sure that you come and spend time for yourself, that self-love, that self-care. Come and rest and take care of you, because usually all day long we're taking care of others, and so finding some time just for yourself is so important. I have rituals and ways that I do things, a morning routine, a night routine, and I'm realizing those are so vital right now. Like, I cannot go without them, because they're the bookends to my day, and they set me up for my day, and they finish out the day for me, because what happens in between that is a huge range of different emotions, situations, things that happen with the kids, with my husband, whatever. And so knowing that I have those two solid foundations at the beginning and end of my day are really huge. So I wanted to share that with you. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go onto our back. So I'm going to show you, and then I'm actually going to get us sit up and talk so you can see my face and not the back of me. But I get really close to the wall. So I sit sideways as close to the wall as I possibly can. And then I come down onto my right arm, and as I'm coming down, I start lifting my legs. So now I'm here, my bottom is about 6 inches from the wall. So I kind of press into the wall and shimmy myself towards the wall, and then bring my feet up. So we're gonna start here. If your feet start to fall asleep or you feel you wanna do something different, then you can switch it up. You can spread your legs out. Here's a nice resting spot. You can bring soles of feet together. You can just bring knees together or continue with legs up. So during the next 5 minutes, say, that's about how long we're going to be there, feel free to put your legs in any position. If they do start falling asleep, change the position up. Once you do it more often, your feet won't fall asleep anymore. And this is something I would recommend. I did this last night for 10 minutes just to end my day because it was just kind of bedtime was kind of crazy. So you can toss this in anytime. You don't have to do the whole flow that we just did. Legs up the wall anytime you feel you're feeling overwhelmed. It could be lunchtime. It could be right in the morning. So use it at your discretion when you feel you need it. Okay. So you're laying on your mat. Hands are out next to, like on your sides, closing your eyes, and just feel your breath move through you. If you want to place your hands on yourself, one above your chest, one on your belly, as you inhale, just feel the expansion of the breath. As you exhale, feel the settling of your body as the breath leaves you. The inhale, the filling up. The breath, the lungs are getting big, filling up, and it's creating space in the body. So something's coming in the body, but it's actually creating space. As you exhale, it's like there's a hollowing out. On your next inhale, picture your ribs expanding in all directions as your lungs fill to their capacity. You can keep your hands on your body or place them next to your sides. I have an invitation to you tonight, and it's to step away from the world and all that's going on and exhale. Imagine you're on the bank of a river and there is a canoe. Get into the canoe and begin your journey on the river. But the first thing you must do when you're in that canoe is let go. You have to push away from the bank. As you start floating down the water, notice that your time here in this canoe on your mat, this time here with just you, is a refuge for you. As we want to control what's going on outside of us, just come back to this place of peace that you've created where there's nothing to do. And as you're on this river, you may go into deep, uncharted waters. You may encounter challenges or delights. But again, let this be your refuge. Let the river take you where it will. If you hit white water, stay in the canoe and keep paddling. If you enter calm pools, do the same. Throughout your whole journey, be aware. In order to find the calm and peace, we have to push away from our day. We have to push off into the middle of the river to find that calm. Think of banishing the word struggle from your attitude and your vocabulary, especially with what's going on in the world today. And think of it as, we are here for such a time as this. We, dear friends, are the ones that we have been waiting for. And at any time, you can find the bank again, anchor the canoe to the bank, and step out. And walk back into your day. And notice, you will not be the same person that walked into the canoe when you get out. Not a better person, not a more enlightened person, maybe a softer, gentler. Maybe eyes being open more. Head lifted high, knowing that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. To finish out our meditation tonight, you can stay in this with your legs up the wall, and I wish you a wonderful evening. You can also bring your knees in towards your chest and begin to shimmy away from the wall a little bit. And then when you're ready, I would just say pause before you get up, roll onto either side, and just rest there for a moment and notice how you feel. And maybe you jump right into bed. Maybe you finish out your day, this is the end, or you go on into the rest of the evening and do what you have to do, but know that there's this calmness and peacefulness that you created for yourself with your time tonight here. I thank you for joining me. This has been an honor, and message me with any questions, and have a wonderful evening. Bye.